Greetings, one and all, to another review game tasting session of manicness stuff. I am joined here yet again by the amazing and lovely talented Yi, who did the lovely asking of the questions because I'm too incompetent to do anything as usual.
Yeah, you shouldn't be so down on yourself. At the moment, I'm not sure I really like the way whenever you say that, amazing, intelligent, blah blah, always makes me think of Trixie from My Little Pony. The great and powerful Trixie! Yeah. I
certainly don't see you as a pony, but
yeah, thank you.
If or a cartoon character.
Eh.
Oh wow, I forgot I've got one of those.
What's one of those?
So in Diablo 3, obviously you're playing Diablo 3, you can get these sockets that can attach to your weapons, and I completely forgot that I finally acquired one of these after years of play.
Right.
And yeah, So
I guess that answers. So I guess this is probably a good time to go. So how long have you been playing this game for?
I've been playing Diablo 3 since it was first released back in Wheneverland. Sorry, I've completely forgotten when it came out.
Check that.
Yeah. And because I felt that was one question that was missed out in the last review, I thought let's have that as part of the future reviews. So I have put in something like 400 odd hours into this game, and honestly I was surprised at how much I actually put in. I actually had to add up all the time I had played across all the characters.
It was released on PC, Mac, whatever, in 2012. The console version was for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 was 2013, and the current versions on Xbox One and PlayStation 4 were 2014, and it's going to be coming out on Switch at some point in the near future too.
Yep.
So let's see if I can find out. It is due to come out in a few days, 2nd of November 20th.
Oh, isn't that BlizzCon? Lol.
It makes sense, really.
Yes, it is actually. Yeah, BlizzCon's the 2nd of November.
Wow, I paid attention to that.
What, that BlizzCon was going to be 2nd of November?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, how things. Wow, all I can see are pixels.
Is it too blurry?
God, it looks like someone barfed a pack of crayons onto the screen. That's it.
Seems legit. We can give it a go if me updating the picture quality even higher. Oh shit. It should put in some more clarity. It's just gonna probably flood my upload.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll give it a go in a second.
Basically.
Oh! Fuck.
You died.
We do it now. Yeah.
Sorry, it did just look like a flashy rainbow with every so often little numbers would appear. Right.
Okay, that should...
Ooh, hello, I can see things.
And apparently by dying I leveled, which is... lol. Oh, fuck. There's shit! There's shit on the other side! Oh, God! Make it go away. What the fuck? Where did all this shit come from? I swear it wasn't all here before. Everyone, murder eyes. There we go.
So, you are playing Diablo 3, as we have discussed. What are you playing? Necromancer, isn't it? Because I've just seen a lot of things running.
Yep. Yep. I am a Necromancer. So, this came out... The Necromancer came out, was it last year? Or yeah, I'm pretty sure it was
2017. Maybe... I just read it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was a huge fan of the Necromancer in Diablo 2. I thought it was one of the favourite classes of the game. It was great fun. You had your hordes of skeleton warriors, skeleton mages, and your golem. I always preferred to have the blood golem. And yeah,
So,
might actually load
is the blood
difficulty
golem
of
the
this.
walking pile of meat that you appear to have?
Yep. Yep. So you can have different types of golems. In Diablo 2, it was a simple case of whatever you made the golem out of determined what golem you had. I'm pretty sure. No, that was the iron golem. You could actually make the iron golem out of equipment that had fallen on the floor.
Right.
And the better quality the equipment was, the better quality iron golem you had.
Right.
So that's not the case here. So it's garbage. If I that's the one I want to change. So command golem. So I currently have a blood golem. You don't have the iron golem here, but you have various other types.
Okay, so you've been playing it for a long time, and you have been playing since 2012, and you've been playing for a max plus 400 hours or so. Cool.
Yeah.
Is this a game that is this a type of game that you usually play, like genre spoofs?
I do love action RPGs. There aren't that many of them around. One of my favourite action RPGs was Marvel Ultimate Alliance by Raven Software. I absolutely loved that game. It was so good.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, say again?
I was just saying, you keep saying that.
What about Marvel Ultimate Alliance?
Yeah.
I do like action RPGs. They are very much a dumbed down version of the more in-depth RPGs like World of Warcraft, so on and so forth, where you have God knows how many stats up the wazoo, and you know, this is certainly easier to digest.
Cool. Will warn you, you just broke up quite badly. I could make out what you were saying, but the screen does appear to have stopped. Oh, there you are.
Is that your internet connection out of interest?
I have no idea. Another.
Because you're breaking up a lot as well. The raw lifestyle of recording these reviews, these taster reviews.
I don't know. I'm going to go look at the router.
I'm dying. I'm dying. Fuck! I'm going to lower the difficulty.
The router seems okay, so...
Yeah, you sound a lot better.
I think it might have just gotten a bit overwhelmed. From one end of us.
Yeah. Damn it!
Did you die again?
I did die again.
Yeah, the screen's not doing anything. I'm gonna minimise it and see if that helps. No, it's not.
I might actually swap character because I'm having my ass handed to me.
I'd like to be able to see it.
What, my ass being handed to me?
Well, what I'm meant to be looking at, yes. At this moment in time, I have black. Anyway.
Reminds me of the dark room.
You're awake in a dark room!
What do you do?
And look for the light switch. You're in a dark room.
Pretty much.
Do you know there's a live version of that? You know how they do like live Nightmare? There's a live dark room as well. And
I don't know that.
I'd quite like to do it. I think it'd be quite funny. I'd like to do the Nightmare one. When I went to Confuzzled, they did a special Nightmare show. The official one that's been touring. Yeah. But it was only for sponsors, and I'd forgotten to up my membership before the registration closed. It's like, dang it. But to be honest, I probably would have been just dead. Or I would have been working in a dealer's den when it was running. Something stupid like that. So.
Yeah.
Hey! But I doubt they'll do it this time. They'll do escape rooms and stuff this time, I think, because it's spies. The theme is spies. Yes. I can't see anything.
At all? Do you want me to redo it?
Yeah, basically, yeah. I've got nothing.
Okay, bear with me 2 seconds. Let me just kill off all these dudes. Yeah, unfortunately my Necromancer hasn't been around for that long and thus doesn't have all the cool kick-ass gear, and as a result, I die quite easily. Oops, wrong one. Right, let's tweak the... Let's stop the camera for a second. Let's start sharing it again. Everyone's like, oh my god, this is so unprofessional. Well, that's what the highlights video is for. Right, can you see it now?
I moved. Yes, I can see. Ooh, there's a thing. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it on the small screen because I can make things out.
Cool.
It's not a load of pixels. It's so tiny.
Yeah, I did up the quality as high as I could. So
yeah, it was just on full screen. Just no, as I resembled
pixel bar.
Yeah, pixel bar. Remember how Warframe used to be when you had Bloom on? And it was just like, my eyeballs!
Oh god.
Yeah, that! Oh dear. So, action RPG.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. My brain has gone split. So, well, I was going to just ask you, so is this the sort of thing you play? Well, yes it is, because you keep on going on about Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Yep. So, yes, that is the answer to that question. I guess there's no point in me asking, does it offer any significant replay value, because you played 400 hours. You died.
You are, again, breaking up a lot. I'm changing the window quality.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I see you're all dead.
Yeah. Okay, can you try again?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Freaking son of a...
I didn't do anything. Maybe.
No, you didn't.
So you were playing a Necromancer, are you still playing a Necromancer, or...?
Yep, still on the Necro.
Ah. So, same character, different character?
Same character.
So yes, obviously for playing for 400 hours, it's got to have some form of replay value. But how long did it take? I mean, my understanding is there is the campaign that you go off to save the world or do whatever you need to do, and then there's the stuff where there's other stuff as well, correct?
Yes, so you have the single player campaign, which in all honesty you'll probably do once and then never touch again. Then after that you have the adventure mode unlocked to you. You can play the adventure mode with your friends in case you haven't already unlocked it, but to unlock it for yourself you have to rest of my sentence.
You have to...
In order to unlock it for yourself, you have to complete the main campaign.
Right, so you can hop into adventure mode with other people as long as they've got it unlocked, but it doesn't unlock for you at that point. You have to finish the...
Exactly.
Okay, cool. I might one day get round to finishing that, you know, yeah. Yeah, so I to people watching, I do actually have a copy of Diablo. I didn't pay for it, because I got it through when they did the offer. On WoW.
Mr. Pandaria.
Yeah, Mr. Pandaria's annual pass offer. So that's how I got it, and I didn't really get all of it that well.
It's not for everyone. It's, to be honest, I typically use games like Diablo 3 as a escape from games that I typically play, like Warframe, just to give myself a different perspective on what I have with Warframe. A lot of people typically burn out on various games, be it Warframe or League of Legends or Heroes of the Storm or whatever they play, and it's always good to have a game that you can go to that puts things in perspective.
Right.
For me, that is Diablo 3.
So you play it to remind yourself it's bad? Or...
No, I play it to remind myself that some of the complaints people have in other communities aren't genuinely warranted. I enjoyed Diablo 3, sure, but I certainly couldn't play Diablo 3 24/7 like I could play something like Warframe.
Yeah.
How many name drops for Warframe can I make?
It's just though you make you are a content creator for Warframe. Yeah. Okay, so you said that there's the single player campaign, there's then the adventure mode. Yeah, huh?
Yep.
Adventure mode. Anything else?
There's also seasonal stuff. So if you're the sort of person that is happy to constantly reset your character each season, though the seasons seem to be getting longer and longer, then you can start your characters from fresh and play through adventure mode. I don't think it's specifically the campaign. You can play through adventure mode, get yourself back up to 70, do various different seasonal tasks like get to 70, complete this specific instance run or what have you, to earn various goodies like legendary or set-based equipment. But it is very much a case of rinse and repeat what the game already offers you, and it's not that appealing to me. You don't have access to any of your existing stuff. You just start again, and I'm certainly all like no on that one.
So, okay, you mentioned the adventure mode. What difference is that? Is it basically you can just play through the game, like the areas of the campaign that you've unlocked as you've gone through it, or?
So right now I'm playing the adventure mode, and the idea is that you have a set number of bounties in which you need to complete in order to get a Herodric cache. That's lore relative stuff. So in the bottom right hand corner here of the map, you'll see that I have bounties available to me. I've currently done the first one. I still have another 4 to go before I can actually get the large Herodric cache. Again, lore stuff. I can go to any location in any of the acts to do these bounties, and that is essentially what the adventure mode is.
Okay.
The campaign mode, it is literally doing the plot from Act 1 to Act 5 again and again and again, and that was one of the reasons why they introduced the adventure mode, because people were getting really bored of doing the same thing over again.
Right. Okay. So, what do you like about the game?
I kind of like the simple turn your mind off and just watch stuff die nature of the game. It not limited to myself, evidently.
What the hell happened there? You seem to be doing alright and then just like, no.
Yeah, I died. That I think something shot me from afar. I like the simple nature of it. I like the simplicity in the RPG elements. So when you are playing with your characters and things, you will have 3 core stats. So bringing up the character sheet now, you have damage, toughness, and recovery. Damage is the amount of damage you produce. Toughness is how survivable you are, and recovery is how quickly you regain your stats and things, your health and stuff.
Right.
Right, I'm going to head back to town because my gear is shot because I've died so many times. And when you have X piece of gear and things, the game does an amazing job of breaking it down to what statistics are affected based on that piece of equipment. So we see this helmet that I've got, the Prospect. The Prospect? Yeah, the Prospect. We have minus 9.9% damage, minus 6.3% toughness, and plus 3% recovery. To me, that is absolute garbage, right? Toughness and damage are the stats I care about. So, yeah. So first off, I'm going to go talk to the blacksmith, get my stuff healed up, and then I'm going to start smashing stuff because it is useless.
So there's a strong crafting element as well.
Yes, so yeah, you do craft a lot in this game.
Okay. Okay, so that's what you like about the game, and the bits that you don't like, that you feel that words a detriment.
The RNG is strong with this one. I'm not kidding. So I'm gonna swap character. Can I easily swap character? Leave game. So I'm gonna have to leave the game in order to swap character. My necromancer is probably like the 3rd character that I've fourth character I've really built up. I have an amazing naming convention, limited to but not including but not limited to Buttnut and Monkey McMonk. So this, however, is my.
There's also an arm cannon. There's always an arm cannon.
There's always an arm cannon. There's always an arm cannon.
There's always a Xeno as well.
Yep, this is my Crusader, who I've put a lot of time in. She's very, very tanky. And yeah, so I'm just leveling up these points on her. Right, so with my Crusader, I have this flail effect called... Wait, where's it gone? Where's that flail gone? Why isn't that on? Is that it? Yes, that's the one. Right, so I needed to find a specific flail which took me, I think, 7 months to actually find a single copy of. So in Diablo, you have set bonuses, you have legendary effects on your equipment, and one of said effects is that your blessed shield, in that case my right-click ability, has no resource cost.
Right.
Right? Which is absolutely phenomenal when this legendary, Blessed Shield, ricochets an additional 6 times. Sorry, to 6 additional enemies, and its damage is increased by 200%. So those two go hand in hand really, really well. As I said, it took me 7 months to find this sodding flail to the point of... Yeah, I think I rage quit Diablo a large number of times and went, right, I'm going to go play something fun.
Yeah, I do remember you having moments of fuck Diablo, fuck you.
Pretty much.
Why is there a little
So the RNG elements to Diablo are seriously not appealing. And there's nothing you can really do about it. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of mincing these enemies right now. Sorry, death? What's death? More like they die. Ha 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 ha.
So, yeah, so RNG is the thing that puts you off, basically. I mean, it's...
In a very large way, yeah.
To the point where, yeah, so, and it's... Yeah, repeating things. Blah. I mean, it's been out for a couple of years. Do you think? I mean, how does it compare to what it was like when it first came out?
Sorry, you're breaking up a lot. What's that?
I was saying it's been out a few years now. So how does it compare now to what it was like back in like 2012 or so?
It's grown a lot. When the game first came out, there was an absolutely crazy... Oh, what's the name of the thing? Auction house system, which I don't know what Blizzard were thinking. I really don't. You could actually buy equipment for real money equivalent. And it was like, you are playing with fire. You are seriously playing with fire at this point.
I'd completely forgotten about it. So basically they made it pay to win for a game that you'd already bought.
Yeah, I mean, people didn't really use the real money equivalent, I don't think. I could be wrong in that regard, but yeah, it's just... What the heck is this stuff? Oh, is this from the event? Yeah. Sorry, I haven't touched my thing in absolute ages.
Crusader?
My Crusader in absolute ages. But yeah, so what was I saying?
Yes. Yeah, we're so professional at this. I was saying, I was asking. Oh God, why is my phone still making noises? It's going to be on silent. I'd asked, had it basically how blah 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 talking. Please excuse me when I go put my teeth back in. I was asking how had it what had it developed well, essentially.
I'm sorry, you are breaking up like nuts.
I don't know what's causing it.
You sound perfectly fine now.
I don't know what's causing it to go nuts. I don't know whether it's the fact that I'm live streaming you, and therefore it's just sitting there because my internet connection is going. Oh god, why? Please stop, why?
Shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be, but as we have discovered since I moved, now I'm no longer literally, or pretty much sitting on the exchange. Internet here is not quite as stable as I'm used to.
Yeah.
It conked out randomly. Was it yesterday? Or when I got... No, it was yesterday. Around midday, it was just... No, it can't. When I got back from Derby.
Right.
I think. It could have been this afternoon. I can't remember the timestamp. Yeah, I'm not going mad, honest.
So yeah, what was the question?
Basically, I was asking how things had developed. You know, how had it changed from when it was first released, and was it better?
Okay, so let's go through that again. So I feel that since its first release, Diablo 3 has grown a lot. With the release of Reaper of Souls, there have been a large number of improvements.
So Reaper of Souls is
one of which
expansion, correct?
Yes, it's the expansion. Before Reaper of Souls came out, you had things like the Real Money Auction House, which is legendary in and of itself, wasn't a great release idea on Blizzard's part. Not only that, but you could actually get equipment that wasn't suited for your character. So say you could get... You know how in games like Dungeons and Dragons, most characters have a preferred stat, like, you know, rogues and thieves and whatever, they would prefer dexterity, whereas anything that was big and beefy and tough would prefer strength as a stat. Right. In Diablo, it's pretty much identical, as much like World of Warcraft. And the... Oh, I'm dying. The frustrating thing was, as someone like a wizard who would require wands and intellect to do any damage, you could get wands with strength stats on them, and it's just like, again, the RNG was just so massive.
Why the hell would you do that? I mean, if it's not even...
Yeah. It's not usable by the class, why would you allow it? Right?
Wait, so you would get a strength stat, but something that uses a strength stat wouldn't even be able to equip it.
Exactly.
That...
So, like a barbarian... Yeah, like a barbarian uses strength, but they can't use wands, so it was a dumb move.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty damn stupid.
Likewise, the game didn't have the torment levels that it currently has. So in Diablo 3, I'm pretty sure right now there are 13 torment levels. Right? This means that it's like the game kind of constantly scales to difficulty, like what you can do, so on and so forth. In the original game, you didn't have that. You just had Infernal mode, where basically you're doing the campaign near constantly, and it's just getting harder and harder and harder, to the point of the last difficulty being Infernal mode, you couldn't easily do at all.
Right.
So you would do the same boss over and over and over again till you got just enough gear in order to actually move on to the next area.
So it was grind, but grind doing the same thing over and over again, so boring as hell.
Grind with death RNG, yes.
Oh, fun, pleasant, I'm glad they changed it.
Yes, they changed it a lot.
So you had Reaper of Souls, and then you, if I'm correct, the Necromancer was... Well, Reaper of Souls was obviously after 2012, but it was before 2017, which is when the Necromancer came out. So was that an expansion, or was it just a bit?
So this is where it gets a little confusing. The Necromancer came out as part of like an update. However, in order to actually play as a Necromancer character, it required a transaction of some form. So like you had to pay, I think, £15
right,
in order to actually be able to play as a Necromancer. However, the rest of the content that came out at the same time as the Necromancer was free to anyone. Anyone with a copy of Diablo 3, they could play that stuff. But in order to play a Necromancer, you had to pay £15 for it.
Sorry, yawning. So, so basically, it was a paid DLC for a character.
Kind of, yes.
Is it worth it?
I honestly don't know. I want to say it is worth it, but it doesn't bring anything super new to the game. I don't get to play anything particularly amazingly new with the Necromancer that I wouldn't have had access to anywhere else.
Right.
There were cool little bits of lore that get introduced with the Necromancer, but you know, I thought £15 was a pretty steep asking price.
Yeah, for just a character.
Yeah.
I mean, as I said before, I've got Diablo 3 on the PC as the standard version, so I've not played the Necromancer. I have got the the base game and expansion on the PS4. I can't remember if I bought the Necromancer or not, because it was on sale, so I thought, why not? I can play things online! And then have never done it. So that's a waste of money. But yeah. I mean,
the shocking thing to me is that Blizzard haven't done like multiple character classes. Like, oh hey, we've got the Necromancer now in the game. Let's do the Druid. Let's do the Paladin. You know, let's do various other characters, the Assassin, whatever. They only did the Necromancer, and I think the price that they had set was possibly beyond what people were willing to pay, and maybe that's the reason why they didn't consider doing additional classes or any further additional classes.
Yeah, I think 15 quid is pretty steep for just a character. You know.
Yeah.
To me, that's too much, and for somebody who's just... Again, admittedly, that's for somebody who's not particularly enthralled by Diablo. I don't know if people like, you know, massively into like Diablo 2 and like, I remember playing as a necromancer, woohoo, let's go do it, would be into it, but I don't think they would. It is quite a lot of money for not a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, the game itself at the moment, what is it, 20 quid or so?
I'm not entirely sure.
Look things up. Go looking things up.
I think when you buy Diablo 3 now, you buy it with Reaper of Souls.
Yeah, I get the feeling that, okay, that's the dollar price. That's not useful. Yeah, handy.
Well, how much is it in dollars?
It is... Just trying to... I've lost it. No, bad phone. I've got the EU Blizzard, but it's in seemingly Polish at the moment. Yeah, there we go. It's decided I'm in England again. Let's have a look. Right. Okay, on the Blizzard store, it's $16.99 for Diablo 3. It says Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls from $16.99, so I think... Sort of... Go away! Yes, I'm old enough, believe me. Don't snort, you're only 6 months younger than me.
I think I'm more than 6 months younger than you.
You're born in May, right?
Yes.
Are you 85 or 84 before I put that foot in it?
85?
Yeah, 85. That's nice. Eh. Okay, fine, 8 months. Shut up. Yeah, it's weird. It has two listings, like one is Diablo 3 and then one is Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls, but they're both the same price for the standard edition. There is also a digital deluxe edition for £35.
Let's have a quick look.
Do you mind? I've just told you the information.
Well, you just said it was quite weird.
Well, it is a bit weird. Why would you... It's more a case of who in their right minds would buy just the standard edition on its own for the same price as getting the expansion.
Right, okay. So yeah, you can... Yeah. That's interesting, because I'm looking at it now, and it says... I don't see a digital deluxe edition.
Reaper Souls. The Reaper Souls bit is... Oh, maybe it is a case of you still need to buy Diablo 3 first, because there's the battle chest for $24.99. So you must have to buy Diablo 3, then Reaper of Souls, and then the Necromancer pack. Possibly.
Yeah. It's very strange, because I can't see that on the Blizzard launcher. But anyway. So yeah, I think you were asking me the question, is it worth the money?
Yeah, essentially.
I certainly feel that Diablo 3 and Reaper of Souls for £25 is worth the money. I don't... So, yeah, I don't think...
Oh, the Necromancer is $12.99.
Okay, I don't feel that Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls, and then the Necromancer for, what, £37? £38? Is worth it. And that is solely because you're just getting one character.
Yeah.
Like that might be like, oh, but it's the Necromancer or whatever. But honestly, like, if you go away, you play Diablo 3 and Reaper of Souls, and you're like, oh, I love this game, I'm gonna consider getting the Necromancer. Then, you know, go for it. But if you're new to Diablo 3 and you're considering, you know, should I buy the whole kit and caboodle, I would say no.
Okay. I mean, that actually leads on to something I was going to ask. If you are new to the franchise, like you've not played 1 or 2 before, which is shockingly what new to the franchise means, sorry, I'm being derp. Is it a good introduction? Are you just thrown into the middle of it? Do you need to have played the first ones?
I don't think you need to play the first ones, because Diablo 3 does a very good job of telling you how it all started.
Right.
It doesn't really tell you the events of the second one, but really you don't need... yeah, you don't really need to know the events of the second one. So it tells you what you need to know. And it certainly expands a lot more on the lore than what the first and the second game did.
Right. And is it easy to pick up?
Yes, it's very easy to pick up and play. The starting tutorial section of the game is the same for every character, everyone. The procedural generation is very limited to beyond the tutorial, and then it's still very limited. I mean, this is very corridors right now, but that's just because of the area I'm in.
Right.
But yeah, Diablo 3 is super easy to pick up. It's certainly easier than the likes of World of Warcraft. I died.
And is the difficulty curve okay, even though you keep falling over at the moment?
The difficulty curve is fine. I mean, right now I'm playing a much beefier character. So, like, if I bring up my stat sheet right now... What did I just press? Okay. If I bring up my stat sheets right now, you'll see that I have 16 million toughness compared to the 4 million that my Necromancer had. And I have 800 damage compared to the... 800,000. The 400,000, I think it was 400,000, that my Necromancer had.
Right.
So, my Crusader can certainly go with the best of them right now.
Okay.
But my Necromancer is just so low level.
Okay. Those numbers are stupid, by the way.
Yes.
So dumb.
And typically when playing, you just go, oh, look at this. Does it have better stats? No. Does this have better stats? No. Does this have better stats? No. Does this have better stats? No. 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 And that's basically what you do. You know, you don't bother picking up the trash gear. Yeah.
And it seems to be quite easy to see what's better and what's not.
Yep.
Right, give me a moment. I'm going to have to rummage because my headset is beeping at me and we don't want that to keel over. Give me a moment.
Then she exploded.
And there we go. So, right. So, okay, if I was wanting to, or if I was somebody who had never played the game before, you're saying it's easy to pick up,
Yes.
would you recommend watching a Let's Play, or just going blind and just see what happens?
I would say going blind. You don't really need to see a Let's Play to understand how this game works. The learning curve is quite shallow on this one.
Yeah.
Unlike games like Warframe. Wow, Drew, are you ever going to stop dropping hints at Warframe? No!
Oh, cool.
I will say, though, that later on in the lifespan of playing the game, you will want to get to a point of, right, what equipment do I want? What is a good build? So on and so forth. That is when you would go on YouTube and you would do the searching. I think there is someone by the name of Riker, who is a content creator that primarily focuses on Diablo 3 and highlights cool, good builds and stuff like that.
Cool. So is there quite an active community, online community for Diablo?
I honestly can't answer that question. I don't know. I don't, like... I think because it's been really stagnant, there's a rumour. There is many a rumour that there's supposed to be something cool, Diablo-esque, coming in BlizzCon. So this video will have just gone live after BlizzCon. So I don't know if they have made an announcement and I could have slotted this in the video and things. But yeah, it's... Who knows? I don't think that Blizzard have any interest in continuing development for Diablo 3. I think they'd rather focus on Overwatch and other games.
Probably more Overwatch. Oh, what was I going to ask? So you mean you think there's something more from Blizzard, BlizzCon, other than, wasn't they saying something about a TV series or something?
There is I think there was an announcement recently, which was Blizzard are going to be releasing... Sorry, they're working with Netflix to do a Diablo series, probably much in the vein of Castlevania, but I've only had that through secondhand information. I've not seen it through my Twitter feeds or anything like that, but I trust this secondhand information, so
okay.
Yeah.
As long as it's not just, we're releasing it on Switch, because let's be honest, most releases on Switch are, hey, it's this thing from before that was really popular, let's have it on Switch. Which, I love the Switch, but jeez.
I think the big thing is that even though, you know, oh, we're releasing it on the Switch, I feel that, yeah, we're aware of this one, guys. You know, you don't need to tell us about this one. You give us some meat with our Diablo stew.
So you mentioned before that there's a tutorial and whatnot. Is it a good introduction? I can't remember if you actually said it was or not.
Yeah, I think so. It really covers everything. I think the last crafting access point in the game is introduced to you in Act 5,
right?
Which is the enchanting, where you can actually re-roll your equipment to get specific stats that you want. Otherwise, you'll get the blacksmith in Act 1, you'll get the jewel crafter in Act 2, and you'll get the enchantress in Act 5. That's right.
And do you think it's a good gateway for people who have sort of never played these types of games before?
Yeah. I would certainly say that Diablo 3 is a better gateway to playing action RPGs than the likes of Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Okay.
Certainly easier to pick up what you're doing.
What other... I mean, the only ones I know of these types of games are Marvel's Ultimate Alliance and this, so what other action RPGs are there out there?
So, there are quite a few. There's... Oh god, is it Torchlight is one. There's Path of Exile, which is more along the lines of Diablo 2's gigantic talent tree of death. There's some of the older ones, like if you've got the older consoles, X-Men Legends, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1. Don't bother with the Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. It's not done by Raven Software. It was very much a cash grab and was pathetic in comparison. What else was there? Trying hard to think now. There are quite a number out there. Like, I think Path of Exile is potentially the biggest one, but it's certainly a lot harder to pick up than the likes of Diablo 3. I've tried to pick it up, and I'm like, I don't understand, I don't get it, it's too hard. I've had, you know, my friend Joey Zero, who's an avid player of Path of Exile, try and explain to me how to play Path of Exile. I don't get it. I don't get it. So confusing. I don't get it. Ooh, legendary belt.
Yes. I do like how you get the little messages that they're like, you've killed over X many people, you have massacred.
Yep.
I don't know what to think. I'm sorry, I keep knocking my microphone. Alright, no. Yeah. And of course, got to ask, does it have a better plot than Destiny 2?
Yes, it has certainly a better plot than Destiny 2. Pretty much anything has a better plot than Destiny 2.
Hey.
Except for Destiny 2. Destiny 2 has a really bad plot compared to Destiny 2.
Oh dear. So, actually, that was something you said earlier, that you can jump into games with your friends. So, is it primarily a single-player game, but you can actually group together and run the gauntlet side by side, sort of thing?
It's certainly a friend game. It's co-op. It's online multiplayer. It's always online, which was a huge bone of contention when it first came out, because not everyone had the internet connections to always be online, especially if the service went down.
Yeah, one of my work colleagues plays as well, and he and his friends used to play Diablo 2, and they would. They're a bit older than me. He's a bit older than me. He's like, about 16 years older than me. So when they were playing it and doing LAN parties, they were pretty much just picking up their PCs and going together, and taking them with them, sort of thing. And they liked the fact that, you know, they could just go to somebody's house and play a LAN party and not have an internet, just set up the network between the PCs and play the game. Fantastic. They were really pissed off that you had to have an internet connection to even do that for Diablo 3. So I can understand where they're coming from, but I'd say it's one of those things that I've not really got any feelings on, because I'm not back into the game.
To me, I learnt this pain with the release of Half-Life 2. So when Half-Life 2 was... Oh, hello. When Half-Life... Shit! Not when Half-Life 2 was shit, sorry. When Half-Life 2 was in development, the game had gotten leaked. Someone had backdoored into Valve's systems using Outlook, and as a result, stole a copy of the game and leaked it online. This set the game's... Huh?
I vaguely remember that happening.
Yeah. This massively set the game's release back by quite a lot, and with it came the release of Steam, where Valve turned around and said, in order to actually play the game, you have to be online. You know, and that, when having an internet connection that was only dial-up, you know, you really felt that kind of slow internet connection. And she's dead. So, I get it for back then, but for now, like, unless you really live in the super arse end of nowhere, and I get that people do live in the super arse end of nowhere, like, it's just the way games are going these days. You have to always be online.
It's a bit of a... Well, that one I will say is a pain. Because, I remember when I went to... when was it? 2012. It must have been 20... Shit, that was 6 years ago.
I don't know if you finished your statement.
I went to visit my dad in Dubai. No, Abu Dhabi. He was in Abu Dhabi at that point.
Sorry, could you repeat yourself, because all I had then was just Dubai and Abu Dhabi.
Sorry, I was saying that in 2012 or so, I went to visit my dad in Abu Dhabi. I initially said Dubai, then remembered it was the wrong one. I went to visit him in Abu Dhabi, and I'll be honest, in the daytime, wasn't that much to do. We weren't in the arse end of nowhere, but it was. It was a lot. It was further out than he moved, so he lived in a villa on the outs, like in the suburbs. So it wasn't as easy to get to places from there, and he was being a bit overprotective. Bless him, at times. But the buses were were good, but a bit of a pain. Anyway, I'd basically stay in the day, because it was bloody hot. And I took my laptop with me to play stuff, and had a hell of a time because I loaded up the games, or tried to, and Steam went, yeah, no internet connection. Shit. Because I'd not set it up for Play Offline, which was really rather annoying. So all of a sudden my ability to play games, I think all I wanted to play was Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, and it's like, well, I can't because Steam is sitting there throwing a hissy fit at me. In the end, we went to a net cafe, and I managed to log on and get it onto offline mode, but it was rather annoying. Is basically what this is boiling down to.
For anyone that's actually listening, I would be very interested to know how many people don't have a reliable internet connection, or have a... Yeah, I'll put it in as a card in this. I didn't really intend to have many YouTube cards, but if you're interested in helping out with statistics, yeah, turn on the cards using the annotations found at the bottom in the cog, and let me know, do you... Whoops, I didn't mean to turn that on. Let me know, do you have a sustainable internet connection, or, do you have problems where your internet craps out for hours at a time?
I mean, the reason why we didn't have an internet connection in Abu Dhabi is because my dad was being tight. He would piggyback off one of his work colleagues, basically, but it was very intermittent. I love my dad a lot, but my god, is he a technophobe. And it's like, you were one of the first people you knew to have a VCR, and then you taught me how to program it. Woohoo! But now it's just like, oh my god, it's slightly different technology. Anyway, fun times. Okay, we went off on a massive tangent there. I'm really sorry. What were we talking about? Right, actually, yes, the Steam thing. DRM. I'm assuming it has it, because I'm assuming the only way to play it is through the Blizzard Battle.net MacGuffin.
Yeah, you have to use the Blizzard Battle.net launcher in order to play Diablo 3.
Ah, that's nice of it. Does that cause any problems?
No, it doesn't destroy your hard drive like some DRMs do, so yeah, it's not a problem.
I think... Why are those allowed? Oh, we've released a piece of software that can fuck up your PC! Thanks, guys!
I can't carry anymore.
Wasn't their fault.
Why not?
No, I'm joking.
Alright, okay.
What do I want to change? There's the braces.
What a steal. Don't forget, I'm overburdened.
Sorry.
So right now I have in Diablo 3 you can get this resource called blood shards, and they can be used to trade for stuff from this lovely lady Kaldala, and in order to actually well, when you're trading it, you choose which specific item you want from her. It costs a certain number of blood shards, but it will give you a random item, and yeah.
Ooh, more RNG. The joy.
More RNG.
Sometimes. I mean, is the RNG something that you would want to change? Or are there any other
Oh, God, yeah. So one thing I'd certainly want changed is specific items drop from specific acts or specific regions in an act or something like that. Unfortunately, everything drops from everything in this, and it's just like, well, this is about as appealing as a brick to the face.
Ah, right. So it's not a case of... So you mean that you could, if you're after a super spangly bow, you can get that super spangly bow anywhere in game. So you just have to basically wander around until you find it, instead of just going, I can get it from here, from this thing, with a... Like you do in WoW. It's like, I need bear tongues. We'll go get bear tongues from over there.
Or, for example, a flail. Yeah, it's painful. It's really, really unbearably painful, and I don't want it. Don't want it. Do not want.
So is that something that you'd warn? If you were recommending somebody to the game, would you just say it's good, but
if you're not prepared for the long haul, I certainly would say don't get the Necromancer expansion. It is good, but it is a huge time sink to get any of the cool stuff.
Is that in general not so?
Yeah, in general.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to swap to my Demon Hunter.
Actually, that's one thing I want to check. Is there's a story mode? I'm assuming that ends. Obviously, you get to the end of the story.
Yes.
Is there room for continuation? Or
yes, there is. A lot of people feel that, oh no, there is no room for continuation. No, there genuinely is room for continuation. Torment 8. At the end of Reaper of Souls, there was like, oh look, this thing happened. Oh well, I guess we'll just have to face it in the next expansion. There are... Oh god, what are those called? Basically, there are business plans of what Blizzard are planning on doing. I think there was one in 2010 where it revealed that they intended to release... Holy crap! That's awesome! That makes me a lot better. But it turns that off. I don't like that. Yeah, so Blizzard seemed to have scrapped the second expansion plans for Diablo 3.
That's a shame.
Yep.
And did they incorporate some of the stuff that you saw from the 2010 report? Voice died. Into the Necromancer update, or?
Don't know. Well, the thing is that all we knew that there was going to be another expansion. It didn't elaborate as to what that expansion was going to be.
Do you think that could be what they may be announcing at BlizzCon?
if they are, it's really late in the game.
Yeah.
I'm certainly not someone to turn around and say like, no, you can't do that now. Nuh-uh. But yeah, it's honestly, I would be surprised if they were to turn around and say, yeah, we're releasing an expansion for Diablo 3. I would be more inclined to believe that they would go, Diablo 4's on the way.
Yeah, I mean that might be what they decide to do if it was a good enough, if it was an okay cut-off point in the story. As in, it ties up what you were dealing with in number 3, and then but it's open to number 4. Diablo 3 for Nintendo Switch won't require online service for seasons. I'm assuming that's the Switch McGuffin they brought in.
More than likely. And if the Switch doesn't require you to be online to play the seasons, that the hacks, I call hacks.
I'm just looking at the timeline, so... Reaper of Souls came out in 2014, so it was only 2 years after it came out initially. So yeah, it would be, and then it was last year. Who knows?
Yeah, it's very, like, Blizzard's actions are very interesting as of late. I mean, you're well aware I have complained left, right and centre about what they're doing with World of Warcraft. I have yet to tell you that they are doing something amazing in World of Warcraft due to the reactions of players complaining.
Well, I just found out I had a trial for Battle of Azeroth. It turns out on the 31st. It's like, ah, dang it! It's 3 days game time. It's like, ah, crud, that would have actually been quite useful.
But the... like...
Unless you want to play tomorrow. Free.
Tomorrow's Monday.
In the afternoon, evening. I don't know.
Oh, shit, I died.
You can't have to claim it.
I feel better now.
My Demon Hunter's awesome. Yeah, so we've been wondering for a while what are Blizzard up to in terms of their intellectual properties and their, you know, their different game franchises and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're planning on doing because they seem to be really focusing on the plot for World of Warcraft. They seem to be really... I don't know. It's like they've gone really radio silent for the last several months.
Well, they've probably been waiting for BlizzCon.
Quite possibly. But, yeah, so, don't know what they're doing. I'm interested to know. If they do an expansion for Diablo 3, I'll think, well, a big gap in between, but I'd certainly welcome it.
Okay, so overall, how would you rate it out of 10?
I love how I've left that question in there.
Yeah, and you're going to get thrown it pretty much every week. Or every time, well, we don't do this weekly, but every time we do this.
I reckon if you want a game that you can sink hours and hours and hours of your life into, certainly get this game. If you are not really interested in RPGs, you're more of a I just want to run and gun, then I personally don't think Diablo 3 is going to be for you.
Or if you don't have enough time, I guess.
Well, you can still have fun playing the game without getting the top tier gear. As I said, it's taken me months to get
a flail
where I am now. Yeah, a bloody flail. That makes all the difference for my build. But yeah, you know, if you just want something that's an action RPG that's nice and fun, then yeah, I think Diablo 3 can work.
I hate to... I'm sorry if this is going to bring this down, but it looks like you've got a pack of cats following you.
I have a pack of wolves following me, actually.
I figured that, but the first time well, I've been watching it, it's not really sunk in because, yeah, distracted by other things. And it was just like, they look like little cats. They're not cats.
Lol.
They're not going to be cats.
Well, there's a raven, a bat, ferrets, a boar, and 3 wolves, if I remember correctly. Oh, and a spider, apparently.
Wait, this is one of your abilities?
Yeah, so the demon hunter... Ooh!
Oh, of course you're
treasure goblin. Yeah, so the demon hunter has the ability to have an animal companion.
Right.
Right? However, if you have the set that I do... Wait, is this the set? Yeah. It allows you to have all your animal companions with you. Right? I also have a... I need to go back to the Herodic Cube. Let me just quickly go back to town, and then I'll show you quickly. Da-da-da-da. Where's the Herodic Cube? Oh, Herodic, the Canise Cube. So I also have this effect given by this cloak, which is... my wolf companion now summons 3 wolves instead. So I have...
You have a pack of wolves.
So I have 3 wolves, a boar, a spider, a bat, a raven, and 2 ferrets.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh, that's weird. What's... okay, you've got your health orb. What's going on with the other one?
Right. So all the classes have different types of resources. So
like the I think it's the monk has like a holy power, doesn't he?
He has, I don't know what his is. Is it wisdom or wrath? No, the Crusader's wrath.
Yeah. It looked similar to the monk's one. I remember the white glowy thing.
Yeah, yeah. So I can't remember what the monk's one is. The demon hunter has hatred and discipline. So different abilities require different resources.
Right.
And you generate the resource doing different things. The necromancer has... Oh, I can't remember them. They're all different, right? So typically you have a resource generator ability, right? So that will be your like primary click or your secondary click or something like that. And it will... Well, probably your primary click, actually. It will it will generate your primary resource, and your secondary click will drain that resource. So in here, you'll see I have 3 and 4 will actually cost hatred. My right click will also cost hatred, but my 1 and 2 will actually cost discipline instead.
Okay.
Right? So the Demon Hunter is a dual resource character.
Okay, well, so recommended if you want to...
If you're into this sort of game, yes.
Well, would you mind if we finish this up, or are we good?
Cool, right. So that's it for this taster review shenanigans of Diablo 3, which should have recently come out on the Switch. I think you can get the Switch Collector's Edition, which will include you being able to play like Ganon or something like that. Or there might be like a Ganon skin for one of the classes. I don't really know.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
But
damn it!
What?
All this week I've had that stupid Link He Come to Town song in my head. I just got...
I have no idea what that is.
I'm not going to sing it because I don't sing, but it's a meme video that came out a few years back.
Right.
And yeah.
You can link it to me later.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I would have.
So thank you very much everyone for listening. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any comments or want to improve my abilities, please leave a comment in the comment section below. If you think I should play a game that you think would be right up my alley, please leave again a comment saying, oh, you should play this game. hit that like button, the subscribe, the bell, the shenanigans, and Yi and I will catch you next time.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.